Yeah, we were disappointed because if you are recommending no punishment for DJ, no action should be taken, then you should have made effort to see the DJ president. And then demand from him, when are you returning your country back to civilian rule? To know the action they are taking. If you don't do any of that, then the thing is a failure.
Perhaps lastly, I want to find out from you, looking at all that has really gone on at this place, your impressions and opinion about this second extraordinary meeting.
Well, this second extraordinary meeting is well conveyed. Decisions taken are all right, and everybody is happy. Even the location. Some people will say, oh, Winneba is not the capital. Look, we are Ecowas. We need to meet people from all over the section. So for me, Winneba is a good location. And I think the minimum comfort that is provided is satisfactory to me. And I'm sure to a lot of my colleagues. It's a place we'd like to return to, you know. And this conference touched a lot of issues. And in my opinion, it's a big success.
Thank you so much for your time. Point of the authorities of heads of state. What is informing that?
Well, you know, as parliamentarians in our home country, we represent our constituency. But once your assembly, parliament have nominated you to the national, to Ecowas, you represent your country. You are not representing your constituency because you are not nominated by your country parliament. If the heads of state take a decision, it's good we look at their decision deeply before we disagree. Because the head of states and the final arbiter, they have power of coercion. We don't have it. We can only give suggestions and reasoning. But when they feel strongly on the issues, it's our duty to look at what they've said dispassionately and consider whether it's good or wrong. But in this case, the coup in Niger was condemned by everybody. And besides that, we are members of Ecowas Parliament because we have democracy in our area. So if there are coups are not good for parliament. Coups are not good for democracy. Therefore, if there are coups, apart from condemning it, we must join hands with the head of state to take a tough action on the country that did the coup. The case of Nigeria, the case of this DJ coup, the heads of state have said military option is on the table. And I don't think anything is wrong with that. They've not renounced they've not renounced what I would call diplomacy. Diplomacy negotiation can still go on. But military option is on the table. And this is guaranteed by the Ecowas treaty agreement signed. But the report, the Adhoc Committee report that came, said we should not use force. Two, okay, if you don't use force, no power of coercion. Nigeria, the electricity to Niger have been cut off to put pressure on them. You say we should remove it. They say we should open border for them to have all the food, what they did because of mercy will come in. I can't understand it. For instance, if you look at Niger, the people who are supporting them, all those youths who are jumping up and down, they should know that there's a price for the action of their action. So my opinion was that since the head of state have taken that decision, since we need them to come back to a civilian rule, a democratic rule, it would have been good for the committee to have recommended some form of action that would put pressure on them. Instead, they rejected everything, and every action taken so far, they said reverse it. So if we reverse it, then the junta will say, Ecowas Parliament is supporting us. And that was what informed my decision to say that we should throw away that report,
Going forward, is it not an issue? Are they not looking at the humanitarian aspect? Have you taken that into consideration too?
When you talk about humanitarian aspect, we are talking about the country, we are talking about democracy. If there's democracy, the humanitarian aspect will be better. Under military rule, there's no the humanitarian aspect suffers. So, if on the short run, you say you are talking about the humanitarian aspect, and then you don't put any sanctions, you leave them so that the people don't suffer. Then they don't go into military rule for 10 or more years, where they will suffer more. Which one is better? So if to give back power to civilians, for instance, when Abacha died, Abubakar took over for him. General Abubakar took over for him. General Abubakar immediately, within 15 months, he put down everything, handed over power back. If the Chota in Niger want to hand over power back, they should come out plainly. A Chota, 1 year, 12 months, you know, the democratic process, they don't even do that. They just say 3 years. The people are not ready to give up power. And if we treat them with key blows, before we know, every country in West Africa will have a coup. And we will have no place to sit here. So I want to plead that all these recommendations should be dropped, and let's look for recommendations that will put pressure on the junta. Because if there are no recommendations putting pressure on the junta, they will remain there forever. And if we do that, then Ecowas is supported. But I thank you for the good job you have done. But these recommendations, they cannot stand. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
You don't have anything personal. I am just a parliamentarian, and I know that by the level and the procedure of parliamentary practice, what I have done is just that one. If it is not known to you, I want to be allowed, even in war situation, to withdraw services in health, medicine, and food. So when we are putting this as part of what we have earned from others, we are not giving it. Yes, we want democracy, but the obedience and respect for rule of law is what makes democracy a democratic system. Anything short of that is no longer democracy. Except if you are saying we should throw the laws that we have all abide by. And I told you earlier on, I quoted to you the section, which now says that if any one of us go against the Supplementary Act, these are the issues for us. Let us not make it as if nobody here. For me, son of a poor man, from a very low community, today sitting here at chairing this kind of session is because of democracy. If democracy is not there, I won't be there. But then the respect for the rule of law must be there. If you don't have the respect for the rule of law, it's no longer democracy, autocracy. Is that what we're asking for? No. We want democracy, we want the military out, and that is why we even capture to you the dangers that the Bazoum is under. We mention to you what must be done, but we are in support of my brother, colleagues. If you say that the court be thrown off, I don't have any matter. But then, my advice is that let us be true democrats who respect the rule of law. Thank you very much. Honorable Orlando will intervene. Thank you. Inclusive of those who brought this one, there is no stakeholder that will come across that have not come up with this recommendation say this is the path. And we should reflect the minds and opinion of the people who make. This is exactly what we have done. So we are not in any way saying no, and that's why we are bringing this one. And we believe when we are including this one, we are not saying the other application cannot take place. Nobody is saying that. I will say that because I am better